Hello students. Now today again we are continuing with chapter number 4, reconstruction of partnership firm. In last lecture what we have seen, sir, full sum in which revaluation account is there and even new balance sheet also there. So what is now we are doing? Same type of sum we are taking here, in which again we are doing whole sum, but in this sum somewhat extra things are given, in which its effect is given to capital account, and that is very important one, and only for that things this sum is taken again, and repetition of revaluation account is there, balance sheet also there, and that's why today's sum is also very important one. And after doing this today's sum, it will be help you in chapter number 5, chapter number 6 to getting 5 marks. After completion of last lecture, I had told you 4 marks 100% fixed. Now today after this lecture you will covering 5 marks from chapter number 5 marks from chapter number 6, and 3 marker question from chapter number 7 also. So try to understood and do. We are doing the sum. So first of all, illustration number 11, which is given in your textbook, and I am placing this question before my video, and at that time please make screenshot of that, so that for whole video you can see and give the answer. Again I am repeating, before starting the class I am placing my question. This question I am placing in the video. You will take screenshot of that, and then after by reading that you can give the answers. Now we are starting with the question, and I am reading the question. In question, from the following information, pass necessary journal entries and prepare revaluation account and a balance sheet after the effect of revaluation in the books of Rajesh and Jagdish. So Rajesh and Jagdish are partners, and their balance sheet is given. We need to prepare revaluation account and balance sheet. Rajesh and Jagdish are partners sharing profit loss in the ratio of 3:2. It means first of all write down, sir, Rajesh, Jagdish, their profit sharing ratio is 3:2. So this is fixed profit sharing ratio. Next, balance sheet of the firm as on 31/3/17 is as follow. So that is balance sheet given under the question. Now we are reading additional information first. Partners have decided the revaluation of assets and liability. So Rajesh and Jagdish decide to revalue asset and liability. So assets and liability both are revalued, and the future profit distribution ratio is 1:1. Information for the same is as under. So now from future that ratio is not 3:2. That ratio will be 1:1. So we are taking 1:1 as a new ratio, but it is not used here. Now adjustment number 1. Land building value is to be increased by 20%. Sir, land and building we need to increase by 20%. Now remember my last lecture also. In last lecture we have discussed happy, then credited, sad means debited. Now we need to increase value of land and building. Now land and building value is given in old balance sheet 1 lakh rupees. So first of all, I am writing here land and building 1 lakh rupees. Now sir, we need to increase value by 20%. So first of all, thus increase 20% of 1 lakh. Now 1 lakh into 20%. So 20,000 rupees. Now total of this 1 lakh 20,000. Now think, happy or sad? Sir, definitely asset increase, happy, and happy means credited to revaluation account. Land and building account. How many rupees happy? Sir, 20,000 rupees happy. Because my value increased by 20,000. First adjustment clear. Now second adjustment. The value of machinery and furniture is to be decreased by 20%. Now machine and furniture given in question 80,000 and 20,000 respectively. So first of all I am writing values of machine and furniture. So machinery given 80,000, furniture given 20,000. Machinery 80, furniture 20. Now, sir, 20% decrease in the asset. So, calculate 20%. So, minus decrease in the asset 16,000. Here also, sir, in furniture 20% decrease. Second number adjustment. So, 20,000 into 20%. 4,000. So sir, here after deducting this 80,000 minus 16,000. Same way sir, 20,000 minus 4,000. In this way we are getting actual value of machinery and furniture. But sir, here said asset value decrease. So said means revaluation debited. So sir, machine account to machine account. Same way sir, to furniture account. Machine account 16,000 and furniture account 4,000. Now, going ahead. Adjustment number 3. Now, bad debt reserve is not required. So, bad debt reserve not required. So, why in adjustment it is given? Because in balance sheet, debtors are given 60,000. And bad debt reserve is given 3,000. In balance sheet, debtors given 60,000 and from that bad debt reserve is deducted 3,000. It means in adjustment whatever given, now bad debt reserve is not required. It means whatever given in balance sheet, it is not required. So this 3,000 we don't need to write in new balance sheet. That's why we are writing only debtors 60,000 here. Debtors 60,000. In old balance sheet, there is the deduction also, bad debt reserve 3,000, but we are not writing 3,000 because in adjustment it is given. Now bad debt reserve is not required. Sir, happy or sad? Simple, sir. Happy. So, because debtors bad debt reserve. Now bad debt reserve is not required. Bad debt reserve decreases. It means there will be no bad debt in future. So happy. That's why we are writing here bad debt reserve account 3000, which is given in old balance sheet. Now it is not required. Now sir, adjustment number 4, rupees 3000 repairing expense is required in stock. Sir, simple one. Repairing expense required in stock, so stock value is decreasing. So stock is given in old balance sheet 23,000 rupees and 3,000 required as a repairing expense. So first of all I am writing stock here. Stock 23,000. From that repairing expense deducted minus decrease in stock 3,000. Writing outer side, outer column. ₹20,000. Again, sir, asset decreases, sad. So we have to write it debit side to stock account. And amount is ₹3,000. Simple. Again, sir, we are reading the next question. Amount of 5,000 among creditors. Amount of 5,000 among creditors is now not to be paid, which is to be recorded. It means, sir, now creditors are not paid and that amount is 5,000 rupees. Now we don't need to pay 5,000 to creditors. Now how many creditors are given in old balance sheet? Sir, in creditors 95,000 rupees is given. So first of all we are writing here creditors 95,000 rupees. Now from this 95,000 we don't need to pay 5,000, that is given in adjustment number 5. So minus decrease in creditors 5,000, we don't need to pay, minus, and we get 90,000 rupees. So again think about it. Liability decrease, happy. So very much happy. Happy means credited. So credited here 5,000. Creditors account. Creditors account credited. Simple, sir. So here creditors account credited to evaluation account. Now sir, next adjustment. Outstanding expense rupees 6,000 and income receivable 8,000. So sir, these are the new things. Outstanding expense means we need to pay. Liability increases. So we are writing outstanding expense 6,000. Outstanding expense 6,000. Same way, sir, income receivable 8,000. We need to write. So write down here. Income receivable 8,000. That is my asset. Receivable means asset. Payable means liability. Outstanding means payable. Here income receivable means my income. Asset. So now happy or sad? So liability increase, sad. Asset increase, happy. So here we are writing to outstanding expense account 6,000 rupees. And same way, sir, asset increase, income receivable account 8,000 rupees. Simplest one. Going ahead, and last adjustment is there. The investment is to be shown at market value. So we need to write investments market value. Now in balance sheet, what is actually given? Try to understand. In balance sheet, what is given? Balance sheet investment, outer column given 30,000. But in bracket there is information. Market value of investment is 25,000. Now outer column 30 given and we need to write now market value 25,000. So sir, what is the situation? See here, first of all, we are writing investment and investment value is 30,000 outer column. Now we need to write only market value. So how we can write, sir? Minus decrease in investment 5,000 and outer column 25,000 because we need to write market value. Now sir, again that is the loss. ₹5,000 loss. So here we are writing to investment account 5,000 rupees. So my all adjustments are completed. Now no adjustment is remaining. So sir, what is the last step? If adjustments are completed, then see old balance sheet. What is remaining? Give effect of that thing. So first of all, I am reading the question. Asset side, land and building. Sir, land and building effect is already given. Second, machinery given. So machinery also effect given. Furniture given. Furniture effect given. Then investments. Sir, investment return. Debtors effect already given. Sir, stock. Yes, sir, stock also effect given. Cash balance. So cash balance is not written. So generally we are preparing cash account. But here in whole sum, there is no effect of cash. So we can directly write down here. We don't need to prepare cash account here because there is no effect in cash account. So here we are writing cash balance. Now, sir, cash balance is given in old balance sheet 10,000. So 10,000 as it is. Now asset side is completed. Now I am reading left side, liability side. In liability side, top of the column is given Rajesh and Jagdish capital account. Now Rajesh capital account is 1,40,000 and Jagdish capital account is 60,000. So sir, here capital account is prepared. So write down Balabidi. As per Kamal sir, it is Balabidi. And Balabidi for Rajesh 140. And for Jagdish 60,000. Simple. Then after, sir, there is written general reserve 10,000. Now this is the twist point for which I am taking this sum. Sir, general reserve. Now try to remember 11th standard. There is one chapter, reserves and surplus. Now whatever reserves and surplus is created, that is only for partners. If it is not used. If it is used, then cannot give to partners. But if it is not used, then distribute among the partners. That is our rule. Now general reserve. Sir, general reserve is for general purpose. If there is problem arises, then we can use fund from general reserve. But here no information given about it. So this general reserve we are distributing among the partners. Now liability side given. It means it's a credit balance and credit balance distributed credit side of partners capital account. Because general reserve is not a liability. It is a reserve. If used, then cannot distributed. If not used, then distributed among the partners. That is very important thing. Now, here I am writing general reserve. Now sir, here general reserve is given 10,000. Now 10,000 we are distributing among the partners in their old ratio 3:2. So distribute it in the ratio of 3:2. So 10,000 into 3 divided by 5, 6,000. Same way 10,000 into 2 divided by 5, 4,000. In this way we can distribute general reserve. And this distribution you have already learned in first chapter with me, how we can distribute. That knowledge all of you have, that I do. Same way sir, P&L account given 15,000. Same situations. For P&L account also same situation. Sir, which is the same situation? P&L account balance means it's a profit or it's a loss. Here credit side given means liability side given. It means it's a profit and profit is distributed among partners. If it is given asset side, then it's a fake asset and distributed debit side. We can say in short, liability side given, then distribute credit side. Asset side given, then distribute debit side to the capital account, because it is P&L account balance. And P&L account means profit or loss, which is distributed among the partners. So again I am writing here profit and loss account 9,000, 6,000, total 15,000. Here 15,000 total is given. And last one is given creditors. So creditors is already written. No need to write down again. In this way, whole sum is completed. Now no effect is required to give extra. Now what we are doing, sir? Now we are closing the accounts and transferring the balances. Now first of all, we are closing revaluation account. So make total of credit side, make total of debit side. Now write down highest total on both the sides. So here I have an answer. Total of credit side is 36,000. 23, 5 and 8. Total is 36,000. And total of debit side 16, 4, 3, 6 and 5. That is only 34,000. So credit side total 36,000. Debit side total 34,000. So highest total is 36,000. So here I am writing 36,000 on both the sides. 36,000 here also. And total of 34,000. Debit side is deducted from 36. So we are getting the balance. And that balance is 2,000 rupees. Now this 2,000 we are distributing among the partners. Now partners are sir to Rajesh Capital and to Jagdish Capital. Now 2,000 rupees is distributed in the ratio of 3:2. So 3:2 ratio, 2,000 into 3 divided by 5. Same way 2,000 into 2 divided by 5, you will get 1,200 and 800 rupees. This 1,200 and 800 distributed among the partners. 1,200, 800. And here we are writing revaluation account. Now we are closing capital account. So again, make total of credit side and debit side. But sir, debit side no information given. So make total of credit side only. So credit side total is 1,56,200. And here for 70,800. Now total is clear. Same total we are writing here because highest total is that. Deducting debit side, sir. No debit balance is there. So this is my balance. And here we are writing, sir, Bala City. As per Kamal sir, it's a Bala City. Balance carried down actually. Now this balance is transferred to cross credit side balance sheet. So credit side balance sheet here. So we are writing here capital of Rajesh and Jagdish. 156 200 70,800. Now make total of these two, and that total is given 1,56,000. Now we need to make this total. Two lakh 27,000 is the total of these two. So capital of R and J is 2,27,000. Now make total of 3 and make total of this assets. You will get answer. And that total is 3,23,000 rupees. So if you are making total of these two sides, then it will be 3,23,000. 120, 64, 16, 25, then again 60, 20, 10 and 8,000. So total is 3,23,000. Now in this way we can complete our sum. But sir, most important thing, journal entry. What about journal entry? Now we are talking about the journal entries. Sir, in last lecture it is already discussed. Try to understand. Revaluation account debit, to machine account 16,000. Revaluation account debit, to furniture account 4,000. Revaluation account debit, to stock account 3,000. Revaluation account debit, to outstanding expense 6,000. Revaluation account debit, to investment 5,000. Revaluation account debit, to R's capital and to J's capital 1,200 and 800. These are the journal entry we can write from revaluation account. Same way, land and building account debit to revaluation, bad debt reserve to revaluation, creditors account debit to revaluation, income receivable account debit to revaluation account. So on the basis of revaluation account, we can write journal entry. But one journal entry which you cannot write from revaluation account, which was not in last lecture. In this lecture, in this sum, it is there. This distribution. So on this basis, we need to write two more journal entries also. So Rajesh capital account debit 6,000. General reserve account debit 10,000 to Rajesh capital to Jagdish capital. This is my journal entry. Same way, P&L account debit, total of this 15,000 to Rajesh capital to Jagdish capital. So this general reserve distribution and P&L distribution entry we need to write. Again I am repeating. General reserve account debit, P&L account debit to Rajesh capital account to Jagdish capital account. This is your journal entry. And this journal entries are new in this sum. In last sum, it was not that. So, now you can refer your textbook. In that, all the journal entries are given. Thank you very much. In next lecture, we are again doing short sum, which will be in your exam. This sum also not will be asked in your examination, but useful to get 5 marks in 5th chapter, 5 marks in 6th chapter, and 3 marks in 7th chapter. Bye-bye.